Thanks for joining us on National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, agriculture has been announced as the mainstay of Dominica's economy this fiscal year. Government takes steps to increase and improve local meat production, and the 2015-2016 national budget has been described as practical. Details of our headline stories and others after this.
Children, yell and tell if someone tries to abuse you. Tell until someone believes you and they do something about it.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
You're watching GIS.
Thanks for staying with us. The Honorable Finance Minister, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, has outlined the plan for economic development in this new financial year, which centers on agriculture. The DLP administration is confident that investing more heavily in produce export is the best way forward for the island, which was practically built on bananas. In the budget address presented to the House of Parliament last Friday, July 24th, Honorable Skerrit outlined that due to the ravages of the black sigatoka disease, banana production in 2014 declined by 1.2%. However, in this fiscal year, at least 1.4% growth is the aim.
Government's plan is to maintain agriculture as the leading contributor to economic growth. The Ministry of Agriculture will focus on training existing farmers and new entrants into the sector so that production, productivity, and quality levels can be improved to meet the requirements of both the domestic and export markets.
After 2 years of battling the black sigatoka, Honorable Skerrit says signs indicate that the industry is recovering, aided by 60,000 banana plantlets from France through the Banana Accompanying Measures program. So far, 20,000 have been received, weaned, hardened, and transplanted by selected farmers. Another 2 shipments of 20,000 each will come in this year. Those plantlets will be weaned and hardened in the same way, and selected farmers will see them through to production.
The farmers are located in Castle Bruce, Calibishi, Woodfordale, Wesley, Rosalie, La Plaine, La Croix, and Londonderry. They were selected in collaboration with the Dominica National Fair Trade Organization. The criteria for the selection are their history of consistently adhering to good agronomic practices, outstanding overall management of the farms, willingness to take advice, and to participate in training in recommended agricultural practices.
These and other steps are reasons enough, the Prime Minister says, to be optimistic about a banana comeback.
2 acres each on the La Plaine and Woodfordale agricultural stations will be used for the propagation of plantlets. The Ministry of Agriculture estimates that each plant will be able to generate up to 10 followers in 6-month cycles, thereby reducing on the need to import additional plantlets. This new planting material will be distributed to farmers. Barring the occurrence of adverse events, it is further estimated that within 2 to 3 years, approximately 1,300 acres of new bananas will be established. The average yield is expected to be 7 tons per acre. Thus, overall output by that time is expected to be 9,100 tons of bananas.
As outlined by government, the goal is economic development through employment.
Dominica Export Agency, DEXIA, has been mandated to import fertilizer, which will be sold to farmers at a discounted price. The intention is to establish a revolving fund to maintain adequate supply on the island. As a matter of fact, DEXIA has in fact brought in a shipment of fertilizer.
Government is also working on increasing the acreage of plantains for export. So far, over 400 acres are under cultivation. That is 6,000 tons island-wide.
In the 2015-2016 fiscal year, 300 acres of tissue culture plants will be established. This is expected to yield an additional 4,500 tons of plantain. Plantain farmers will also benefit from the year-round availability of fertilizer. Farmers cultivating less than 2 acres of the crop tend mainly to utilize family labor. It is estimated that the acreage to be established will create approximately 50 new jobs for our citizens.
Dominica will also be renowned for coffee production. Honorable Skerrit says in addition to the export value, 22 new jobs will be created directly through the coffee plant.
5 people were trained in Venezuela and will soon take up full-time employment at the plant. On the supply side, Madam Speaker, the Division of Agriculture has identified 400 farmers currently growing coffee or who are interested in growing the crop. The farmers are concentrated in Syndicate, Salisbury Heights, Opita, Granford, Layo Park, Warner, Penville, Soufriere, and Bellevue-Chopin. In the fiscal year, 80 acres of coffee now in production will be maintained, 50 acres will be rehabilitated, and 100 new acres established. Arrangements are in place to propagate the seedlings required to meet the new production target.
Since it can take up to 5 years for coffee crops to be ready for processing, government has secured 2,000 tons of coffee from Alba countries to begin production, while farmers are engaged in growing their stock. Meanwhile, cocoa farmers are also being kept busy. 350 acres of the crop have so far been rehabilitated.
Government has been engaged in an island-wide rehabilitation of cocoa over the last 3 years. Maintenance of the 350 acres already rehabilitated will continue. 100 acres are targeted for rehabilitation in the new fiscal year, and 50 new acres will be established. Dominica has earned the reputation for producing excellent quality cocoa, which attracts a premium price on the international market. We intend to uphold that reputation. To this end, government has invested in a centralized fermentation and drying facility to ensure that processing of the beans for a top quality marketable product.
Limes will also be a part of the island's agriculture export portfolio. 350 acres of the citrus fruit will be revitalized, bringing the number of fruit-bearing trees to 1,200. The Labour Party administration is sure that this plan to go back to the sector which built this country will pay off in employment and significant economic returns. In other news, self-sufficiency is the watchword for Dominica, especially as it relates to meat production. As outlined by the 2015-2016 national budget, government investment in the agriculture sector is aimed at economic development through employment.
This objective is being pursued through 2 major initiatives, one being the construction of a national abattoir, and the other is to provide financing to existing and potential farmers through the Agricultural Investment Unit, the AIU. We are aware that a number of poultry farmers have upgraded their farms in anticipation of the opening of the abattoir. We can now assure them that the contractor has confirmed that the abattoir will be commissioned and handed over by the end of September of this year.
The Agriculture Investment Unit, or AIU, has so far provided financing for 45 farmers to either upgrade or establish their farms to capitalize on the available market. That market may be expanding as well, since taxes will be reinstated on some imported meat to encourage consumers to buy local.
The production strategy being pursued aims in the first year at increasing the annual output of saleable meat from 186 pounds to 915,200 pounds, Madam Speaker. This represents just 12% of the total import of poultry in 2012, which was 77.4 million pounds.
Data shows that 200,000 chickens will be required to meet that goal. For pork production, 44 farmers have been categorized as commercial farmers.
In this particular situation, a commercial farmer is defined as one for a minimum of 6 sows. The unit has estimated that the local demand for pork is approximately 1.1 million pounds annually. Approximately 50% of this demand is being produced locally. The strategy being pursued, therefore, is to double local production in order to satisfy fully the estimated market requirement. The existing 44 farmers will form the core for doubling the output of pork. They have the basic infrastructure in place and commitment to succeed in the industry. However, some key interventions are necessary, and the delivery will be led by the livestock unit.
Livestock and small ruminants like goats and sheep are not being left out. In February 2015, the Ministry of Agriculture engaged a consultant in assisted breeding technology to introduce artificial insemination and embryo transfer. This means that new genetic material and the new breeds will improve the quality and types of animals reared for meat.
At the end of the day, the success of this will depend on the consumption practices and attitudes and the choice we make whether to buy local or imported.
You're watching National Focus. Still to come, vehicle owners will begin contributing to highway maintenance, and over 240 student athletes compete in Windward Island School Games. Stay with us.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Welcome back. Effective September 1st, vehicle owners will be doing their part by contributing to the upkeep of the island's main roads. The Honorable Finance Minister made the announcement at the House of Parliament last Friday, July 24th.
The Growth and Social Protection Strategy, GSPS, identified physical infrastructure as Dominica's binding constraint. This was no surprise to us, since we recognized that much needed to be done to improve physical infrastructure. This was more so in respect of road infrastructure. Since 2005, this government has been focusing on trying to address this. Today, Madam Speaker, I am heartened when I hear of the comments of satisfaction expressed by road users, visitors, and nationals alike on the improved quality of our major roadways in Dominica. These improvements have come at a significant cost, and a short summary of which is the following, Madam Speaker. The Ewo-Libla Highway, over $94 million. Roseau-Melville Road Upgrade, Lot 1, Poncassy to Canefield, $34.4 million. Dr. Nicholas Liverpool Highway, $84.5 million. Road Improvement and Maintenance Program, $42.3 million. Roseau Road Reinstatement, $30.1 million. Luce to Granby, $8.8 million. Road surface in Harbour Lane and Rodney Street, over $0.8 million. Road surface in Lagon to Purple Turtle, $1.1 million. Rehabilitation of Mount Prosper Road, $1.9 million. Penville to Vickers Road Rehabilitation, $6.9 million. Pidit Savan to Bwetika Dailies Road Rehabilitation, $1.2 million. Point Michel Roadway, $2 million. Soufriere Scott said Sea Defense Road, $12.2 million. A total expenditure, Madam Speaker, of $320.3 million.
These are in addition to other completed, ongoing, and planned projects. Honorable Skerrit stressed that Dominicans must do their share in the development of their country.
I believe strongly, Madam Speaker, that it is not only fair and desirable for Dominicans who will benefit directly from continuous highway improvements to contribute a little more to maintenance of our roads. In light of the foregoing, Madam Speaker, I propose that a highway maintenance levy be applied to all classes of vehicles. The rates will be as follows. Commercial vehicles, $150 per annum. Trucks and dumpers, $150 per annum. Private vehicles, $100 per annum. Motorcycles, $50 per annum.
This fee will be required and in full at the same time of the annual license fee. A separate marker will be provided to indicate vehicles for which the highway maintenance fee has been paid. Parliament resumed today, Monday, July 27th, following the nation's finance minister's $500 million budget address on Friday. Honorable Minister for Information, Science, Telecommunications and Technology, Kelva Daru, rose in support of what he considers a well-delivered address by the nation's leader. According to Honorable Daru, the Dominica Labour Party administration is a caring government that is not oblivious to the needs of its people. In fact, he says the Prime Minister's budget address is one that takes their recommendations into consideration.
It symbolizes a government that listens. And that is why the Prime Minister, through his intuition, he sat down with the promoters, the managers of the music industry. He listened to them. And they came up with ideas and plans and suggestions as how to drive the sector forward. We also listened to the farmers of the country. We listened to the cry of the farmers. And that is why we are making provisions to assist in the development of farm access roads. The Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, they met with the government. We listened. They made several recommendations. And in this budget, the government has taken on several of the recommendations that has come from the DHTA, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Daru says not only was the budget presentation well delivered, it stayed true to its title, Keeping It Real.
This budget has been crafted with all of this in mind, because we are living in a global village, and what affects various countries within the world, they will in fact affect us here in Dominica. So this was taken into consideration during the drafting of this budget. But Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding these challenges, this is a very progressive, transformative, and practical budget, Mr. Speaker. This theme is so appropriate, very appropriate, keeping it real, because it captures the essence of what this Labour Party administration is about. It captures that. And we've seen, Mr. Speaker, clearly, through the leadership of the Prime Minister, the Honourable Roosevelt Skerrit, clearly, we've seen a leader who has demonstrated a commitment towards nation building.
Coming up next, a tip to make your life easier.
You're watching GIS.
To absorb food juices in your waste, put old newspaper at the bottom of your bin. That way, if the bag gets damaged, there will be no liquid leaks, at least. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching.